Once we understand at a fundamental level what culture is, we have to ask the next important question: how do we improve culture? To answer this question, we like to think about where culture comes from with 4 concentric circles. So culture sits in the outermost circle. And just as a reminder, culture is described as the way we relate with each other. Culture is the manifestation of all the other stuff in the inner circles. So what's in those inner circles? If we move 1 circle in, we find group norms. Group norms are shared sets of behaviors that a group of people has agreed are valuable, acceptable, or at least tolerated. And often this agreement happens without deliberate discussion or decision making. We just sort of agree that this is the way we'll do things around here, even if the way we do things isn't sensible, productive, or healthy. So the first layer answer is that changing culture requires that we change group norms. Since group norms are sums of individual behaviors, it's logical then to assume that changing culture requires changing behaviors of the individuals in the group. And this is true. Any group that's going to change its culture needs many of the people within the group to change the way they behave in relationship to each other, at least a little bit. So our second layer answer is that changing culture requires changing how individuals behave in relation to each other. But our thinking can't stop there because human beings are complex. And in reality, what we know about behavior change is that it rarely happens lastingly without first addressing some underlying factors: our in-the-moment thinking and thought patterns, our feelings and emotional regulation practices, our decision-making models. Now in our work, we refer to all of this collectively as our inner operating system. So behaviors are always downstream consequences of our inner operating system. If people are going to improve the way they behave in relation to each other, they're going to need an inner operating system update. They'll need to begin to think differently about themselves and other people. That will change the way they feel and how they make decisions about what to do. So here's the thing, our final layer answer to the question, how do we transform culture, is this: changing culture requires that as many people as possible in the group update their inner operating systems so they relate with each other more productively. We call this doing our me work and our we work. So in summary, changing culture requires changing group norms. Changing group norms requires changing behaviors, and changing behaviors requires effectively doing me work and we work. Now hang with me for a minute. If you're thinking, wow, that sounds complex and time consuming, you're right. Changing culture is complex because people are complex. And changing culture takes time because human beings usually make significant changes only gradually over time. But when this work does happen, it's amazing, inspiring, and rewarding.